Thank you, Chairman Iden and members of the committee for inviting me to testify today. I am John Pappas, and I work with a company called GeoComply, and we are the global leader in geolocation technology. So all forms of internet gaming that are being discussed in these packages, whether it's DFS, sports betting, or iGaming, internet poker, GeoComply regulates that supports regulation in that industry. And we operate now in over 42 states to ensure compliance with state and federal regulations. In fact, over the past year, we've become proud members and partners with the Michigan Lottery to support its online lottery here in Michigan. We've been licensed as a geolocation service provider in New Jersey, Nevada, Delaware, Mississippi, and West Virginia, and our software is validated by both government and independent gaming testing laboratories. Each day, we process more than 10 million geolocation transactions. Our company was founded solely for the purpose of delivering a geolocation system to support the U.S. internet gaming market. From the company's inception, we recognized the challenge facing U.S. iGaming and the need for high-caliber technology to act as a legal enabler and safety net to keep the activity within a state. We exist to ring-fence virtual borders. Our technology enables online operators and regulators to meet the demands of federal laws such as the Wire Act, the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act, and the sovereignty of states who choose to opt in or opt out of gaming. I think it's important to note that we are not reinventing the wheel. We're all familiar with geolocation if we use a GPS on our phone or if we've ever checked in on Facebook. Those can all be leveraged to locate a user. However, what is distinct and different is those are open source tools. What we do is compliance-grade geolocation, and we interrogate the data to ensure that it is trusted and secured. We cannot simply rely on IP data to determine a player's location. We dig far deeper. Our technology analyzes data sources based on a combination of Wi-Fi, GPS, IP, Bluetooth, and we even get down to the mobile device and scrub it to ensure there are no running processes on it where someone could be spoofing their location. GeoComply employs a full-time team to keep up to date with the latest spoofing technologies available, and we regularly adjust our systems to detect them. By the time GeoComply system approves or denies the transaction, it will have been subjected to over 350 analytical checks. So you guys have been looking at this screen. It's quite mesmerizing. This is, in fact, live geolocation transactions as they are occurring in New Jersey. We work with 100% of the operators in New Jersey who offer legal internet gaming, sports betting, iPoker, and other forms of gaming. And as you can see, our technology gets right down to the borders to ensure that if you're in Manhattan, you're unable to place a wager, but if you're in New Jersey, you are. And this is really important. 80% of internet gaming traffic in New Jersey happens within 10 miles of the border. So if you're simply relying on an IP geocheck, an IP geocheck's range could be up to 30 miles. So you'd not only be able to allow people from New York to gamble, you would maybe possibly be blocking people within New Jersey from being able to gamble. So our product is designed to allow people to wager right up to the border in New Jersey, and of course not be able to wager if they're across New York. So if you're in Corktown in your apartment building, you should be able to place a wager. But if you cross the Detroit River and go into Canada, you shouldn't be able to place a wager on a legal regulated site in Michigan, and our technology enables that. So as you can see, the dots here represent a variety of different things. The white dots are the iOS or iPhones or iPads that people are using, mobile devices. The green dots are an Android device, and the blue dots are people using a PC or Mac. And obviously the red dots indicate those people who are being blocked. And you'll notice that maybe you'll see a red dot or two appear in the state of New Jersey. While they may be within the legal jurisdiction, we've discovered that they are running some sort of process on their device, like a remote desktop or something other that would be prohibited, which would allow maybe someone to tunnel in and use their device in New Jersey. So we detect that, and we would tell that person, or actually the operator would tell that person, hey, you're running a prohibited software. You need to either disable it, turn it off in order to place a wager or engage in any sort of wagering activity. We've built a strong partnership with all iGaming operators across the country and regulators, and we are excited about the opportunity to extend our work here in Michigan. As I mentioned, we are already working with the lottery here for their geolocation needs, and I appreciate your time and happy to discuss this map in more detail and answer any of your questions.
How's it going with the lottery here?
The lottery's been very successful. It's been really impressive the way they've been able to compete in the marketplace and also elevate the entire lottery product, the land-based lottery product as well as the online lottery product.
Do you feel that the land-based lottery product has grown because of the online product?
I don't have actual numbers in front of me, but I understand that that is indeed the case.
Representative Hauk.
So basically, if you're a border town with Ohio, Indiana, or Wisconsin, instead of we hear how everybody's going to those states because different items are cheaper, they'll be driving across the border to Michigan because that's the only way you can wager a bet.
That's exactly the case. In fact, we see that on a daily basis. New Yorkers travel into New Jersey on a daily basis to place wagers, and then they leave. And then also you also have people who live in New York and work in New Jersey, right? And so they'll be able to place wagers on their way into work or on their way home. But once they cross that bridge, literally once they cross that bridge, they will not be able to place that wager.
And the other good thing about it is, as far as youth or whatever, everybody does a wager online, so all their information is right there. It's not like you're trying to show a fake ID to a person.
Correct. The age verification is very good. We play a role really in the geolocation side, but we're also our technology is very useful in terms of fraud detection. So if someone was claiming that they were not placing wagers and wanted to do a chargeback with a credit card, we can work with the operator and the credit card company to determine where that person was located when those wagers were placed, to determine if in fact it was that person, or if they were doing it from their own home, for instance. We would know that.
Thank you.
Representative Lighthizer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Yeah, just a little bit more on that piece of it, because I think I understand the geolocation part of it pretty simply, pretty clearly. But it's the idea of face-to-face versus technology and determining fraud, age verification, those things. Can you spend just a few more minutes explaining how that works? Because I see smartphones in the hands of junior high school kids, and
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Right. To be clear, GeoComply doesn't work in the age verification space, although I do happen to know quite a bit about it, so I'm happy to speak about that issue. Age verification online happens in a very sophisticated manner. As the previous speaker, Mr. Winchell, discussed, you're not simply just clicking a box and saying, I'm 21. You're providing a tremendous amount of personal information, including a social security number, to verify that individual. And that is done in conjunction with splashing that data up against publicly available databases to ensure that that person is indeed who they are. And of course, that person would have to be 21. And that is done in a way that honestly can be far more effective than even a face-to-face interaction where someone may look 21 and not be carded or can enter a casino. You cannot even enter the casino floor, the virtual casino floor, if you're not 21.
I was just curious, because it sounds like the technology is so robust. I was just curious where the locus of responsibility is. Who is identifying who, where the liability might land because of this new technology that didn't exist 10 years ago? As you have the operators and you have technology providers and you have, all these players.
So generally, the regulator in a state would work with the operator to verify and validate all of their vendors. So your age verification vendor would have to be likely licensed by the state, and that product would be tested multiple times to ensure that it is working. And it's not just a one-time thing. just like geolocation, we are continually upgrading our product to detect and defeat any forms of geolocation spoofing. You can go on the web today and find thousands of different places where they say they can hide your VPN or spoof your GPS on your phone. We detect all that, and we spend a lot of time ensuring that we do our due diligence so that people aren't able to use commercially available products to detect and spoof geolocation.
See no further questions. Mr. Pappas, thank you for your time today.
Sure, I can keep this map up here if you guys just want to observe, or I can take it down.
It is mesmerizing.
Time in New Jersey?
What's that?
Is it lunch hour in New Jersey?
It is maybe a little earlier than lunch, but this is typical volume throughout the day. It's an impressive market.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.